Happiness is not something that just appears in your life one day. It has to be made. You must develop the proper habits before you can begin to experience happiness. In order for you to genuinely enjoy your time in this game that we all play called life, I'm going to discuss the top 3 techniques to creating happiness for yourself. The first method to bring happiness into your life is to become one with the muse. That sounds really ethereal. What precisely are you referring to? There are several names for this, but you're probably most acquainted with the one that means entering a flow state. This is the state in which you are giving something your whole attention. You easily move, think, and do all of these things. There is no need for thought, just as your body does. Everything you do seems fantastic, and time flies by. The reason I refer to it as becoming one of the muse is because when you reach the flow stage, it almost seems as if you're no longer simply you. Your body seems to be being possessed by some magical force that is causing you to have all these brilliant thoughts. Just the enjoyable way, really. I like to think of it as greatly increasing my enjoyment of the whole process. You may think of it as a flow state if it's not your cup of tea. According to studies, our brains release a lot of dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin when we are in a flow state or when we are in one of them. These neurotransmitters are all really enjoyable. They are the same ones that hardcore drugs like cocaine and ecstasy alter to give you a very positive feeling. In that way, getting high off of life while being one with the muse. I believe this to be the most effective method to creating happiness for yourself. Because if you're feeling sad, you can just get high off of life itself. This is a way for you to feel really fantastic and happy without having to take a significant toll on your body, like most serious drugs would. So how precisely does one often attain the flow state? Well, it's really fairly easy. Most likely, you already engage in a few activities that you like. You only need to develop the habit of spending some time engaging in this enjoyable activity each day. It may be any pastime, any kind of employment, or any skill, as long as it enables you to express creativity in some manner. For instance, singing is one of my favorite methods for doing this. I've been singing for more than all of my life, performing for around 30 minutes virtually every day, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. You will find yourself slipping into this frame of mind while engaging in other tasks in your life more often as you practice being one with the muse. You'll notice subtle personality changes. You'll develop a greater sense of creativity, playfulness, and appreciation for the little things in life. The benefit of spending more time in this mindset is that you eventually become really excellent at whatever it is that you like. If you like writing books and devote only 30 minutes a day to it over the course of a few years, you will really improve to the point where you may be able to support yourself from it. It develops into a talent that others will continue to find impressive throughout your life. Therefore, all you need to do in creating happiness for yourself is to adjust your ratio. Increase your social connections and devote more time to your inner muse. The second method we may increase happiness in our lives is to form and maintain social ties. Explorer of the Amazon, Yossi Ginsberg, spent weeks by himself in the Amazon rainforest. Reporters questioned him on the most challenging aspect of his journey after the expedition. He retorted that it wasn't the many mosquitoes that beat you day and night, the harsh weather, or even encounters with venomous animals and indigenous that were to blame. He was experiencing loneliness. After just a few weeks, he had to make up imaginary pals to keep himself company in order to prevent going crazy. You see, practically, all people have a natural need for social connections. Our DNA contains it. In fact, you must have them in order to prevent brain shrinkage and a high likelihood of developing a mental disease. In addition, maintaining social connections enables you to creating happiness for yourself in 2 different ways. To begin with, talking to other people is a type of play. You may talk to each other, solve issues together, or make jokes and tease one another. All of these things are satisfying and enjoyable for us as people and bring forth pleasure in us. The ability to cope with causes of misery is a second reason why it's important to establish and maintain social ties. It's a hard lie. We all ultimately experience situations like the death of a loved one, serious injuries, or just plain bad luck. It's unavoidable, and these things may send us into dark downward spirals that are sometimes quite difficult to get out of on our own. The worry, remorse, and other unpleasant feelings that often accompany these sad situations may, however, be shared and let out when you have strong social ties. As a result, you don't feel as if you're dealing with these occurrences alone, which significantly lessens the amount of anguish they might bring. What steps do we take to create and preserve social relationships then? Well, one of the best ways to achieve this is to just make it a practice to talk to at least one person each day. It may be an old buddy you haven't spoken to in a while, a random stranger you sat next to on the way to work, or perhaps a kind elderly woman feeding the pigeons on a park seat. It doesn't matter, since you will develop a relationship with another person by just putting yourself out there and starting a discussion, which will make you happy. As a result, you will gradually develop better social abilities that will help you forge relationships with others. The last method in creating happiness for yourself is to change the ratio. According to studies, nearly 80% of the thoughts we experience every day are negative. This is problematic since every unpleasant idea and sensation are connected. Consider the incredibly prevalent belief that many of us hold. I'm not good enough. What emotions come to mind when you have this thought? It may make you feel irritated, guilty, humiliated, or even sad, depending on who you are. The idea is that having a notion like this is terrible because it makes you feel lousy. You are bringing misery into your life. What happens when you have a positive notion, such as people adore me? You must feel good about it. Contrarily, these kinds of ideas lead to happiness. There are two methods to do this, but if you want to be happy, you must adjust the ratio between the number of negative ideas you have each day and the number of positive ones. By cultivating a practice of expressing thankfulness to start, you may maintain a notebook where you can record your daily learnings, any noteworthy events that happened, and your goals for the next day. However, you should always close your journal entries by listing at least one item for which you are thankful. Write something like, I feel glad for having a career that I actually like, or I feel grateful to my mother for instilling in me the value of working hard from an early age, as examples. And you may force your brain to think positively by just spending a minute or two to consider and write down one item you consider yourself lucky to have. Over time, you'll really notice yourself having more and more happy thoughts at various times throughout the day because you're teaching your brain to search for the good in life. Learning to restrain your overthinking is the second method you may improve the ratio. You see, we are prone to negative spirals. We begin to reflect on an incident that happened to us, and we draw unfavorable conclusions from it. Let's imagine, for illustration, that in the past, you were rejected by someone. You can replay the incident in your thoughts again and ask yourself, why did I say that to her? I'm a failure. Nobody's drawn to me. It just keeps getting worse and I'm never going to find love. It's crucial to be able to recognize when you are entering one of these spirals of negativity so that you can stop yourself from essentially torturing yourself. The best way to do this is to practice meditation. When we fall into negative spirals like this, we can easily spend 30 minutes to an hour just beating ourselves up, which causes a lot of unhappiness in our lives. Similar to working out and lifting weights, meditation uses your mind instead of your body. The more you practice meditation, the more powerfully you'll be able to manage your thoughts. Using the previous example, you'll be able to recognize when a negative thought spiral is about to start and consciously substitute a positive idea to prevent yourself from producing even more sadness. To stop oneself from spiraling downward when dwelling on a previous rejection, just say to yourself, being turned down was really advantageous. I'll grow better at chatting to ladies the more I put myself out there. Which pauses the downward cycle and makes the whole scenario appear positive. It won't take long for you to notice a little improvement in your ratio when you mix writing and meditation. And it doesn't need to be a big difference for you to feel happier on a daily basis. It will feel quite different from a day when you think negatively 85% of the time to a day where you think negatively 75% of the time. You've definitely realized that your capacity to create new habits eventually determines your capacity to enjoy or be joyful. Creating a daily routine of writing, practicing meditation, or simply reaching out to someone. The reality is that developing and maintaining a habit is the only way you will truly experience change or development in your life. Your life won't change at all if you don't really create and maintain a habit. You may read all the books, watch all the videos, and enroll in all the courses you want. We've reached the end of another video. And thank you for watching. I hope you have learned how to create happiness for yourself. If you like this video, do give us a like. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below. Thank you and goodbye.